Good morning, good morning, good morning, my wonderful Facebook friends and family. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? I hope it's a great day wherever you are, man. It's a beautiful day in Houston, Texas. This is Gregory Wiles with this inspirational morning walk. Beautiful day, beautiful day. It's a little overcast. Renita, good morning. How things in New York there, man? It's a beautiful day in Houston. A little overcast, which works out perfectly for me right now because it's nice and cool. You see, it's not much. You don't see much skies back there, just a little bit of skies there. The clouds is covering up that sun, so that's good for me. I'm not complaining this morning. It's nice and cool, so I can get some walk in. So, Mr. Winston King, how are you doing today? How are you doing today? Hope everyone had a great weekend, man. Hope everyone had a great weekend. And all the ones, I know some people logging on here had a great time at the Flex party, pajama party Saturday night. That was good too. Shout out to Mr. Flex. Good work. Keep up the good work. Miss Bianca Marshall, how are you doing today? How are you doing today? Hope it's all well and good in Guyana there. Keep up the good work that you were doing down there. Anyhow, today what I want to talk about is being content in whatever situation you're in. Being content in whatever situation you're in. Just a little spin-off. Miss Tessa Hunt, my cousin, how are you doing today? Just a little spin-off on what we did on Friday, right? Being content in whatever situation you're in, right? And I want to read this little scripture from Paul, what Paul said. It's a little windy here. In Philippians 4:11 through 12. Philippians 4:11 through 12. He's saying, I'm not saying this because I'm in need, for I've learned to be content in whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. I've learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. Whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. So Paul was writing to the Philippians, and he was in prison at the time, and they had sent some gifts to him. So he's just writing to thank them. So he's saying, he learned the secret of being content in whatever situation you're in, and that's why the message I want to give people today. We just need to be content in whatever the situation we are in. And like we talked about on Friday, look at the positive in it and not the negative to get you through, right? It might be a season you're going through. It might just be a season that you are going through. So just try to be content in that situation that you're in. Just learn to be content. How much of us grow up with some really tough times and, had no choice to be content, right, in the situation we're in. But now as adults, it shaped that drive that we have, that hunger, it shaped that person that we are today. And a lot of us grow up and say, you know what, I would not put the kids through what I've been through, right? So that situation you was in that was looking so bad, it shaped you right now. It give you the drive. It give you the hunger to continue going. It make you stronger, right? So I want to say, just be content. Learn the secret, like Paul said, to be content. He was in prison and he said, you know what? I'm still giving God praise because my situation can get worse, right? So every situation you're in, know it can get worse. So learn to be content in wherever you are. Remember the story you heard with this guy in the, those villages back in the day had the wise men. And this guy had a nice living, but he was bored. He go to the wise man and say, oh, my life is so boring. What can I do to have some more joy in my life? The wise man take a look at the situation and said, okay, tell you what you do. Get a rooster and put it in your house. He said, a rooster and put it in my house? How's that going to help me? He said, you come to me for advice, just follow my advice. He put a rooster in your house and he said, come back the next day. So when he went back the next day, he said, did your life improve? He said, no, man, at 6 o'clock, that rooster just getting up and crowing and waking me up. My life is worse. He said, get a dog and put it in your house. Come back the next day and tell me if your life improved. And he come back the next day. He said, the dog on the barking, the rooster crowing. how you helping me? He said, okay, don't worry. Get a pig and put it in the house and come back and tell me if Mr. Ivor Thompson, thank you for looking. Get a pig and put it in your house and see if it helps. Anyhow, long story short, you tell him get a horse, you tell him get a sheep or get a goat, and he put all this stuff in his house, and he came back and said, how things going? Oh man, the dog is barking, and sheep is making noise, they're only messing up my house, this house is in a mess. And the man said, every day you come back now, the man said, okay, take away the dog from your house. How things is a little better, but I still have that rooster, I still have the donkey, I still have the horse. Then he said, okay, take away the horse. How things now the next day? Oh, I still it's a little better, but the rooster and the dog only there, they're just keeping me awake and messing up the house. And the next day the man said, okay, take away the dog. How things is? He said, man, I still got a rooster. Things are much better, but if I could only get rid of the rooster, my life would be perfect. So the man said, tell you what, take the rooster away and come back tomorrow and tell me how things are. And he took the rooster away and come back next day. He said, man, my life is perfect, man. I have peace in my house is clean, I can just enjoy my life, man. You're a lifesaver, you are a genius. It's no wonder why they call you the wise man. My life is so perfect, right? And he's right back where he started. The life he's saying is now perfect. It's right where he started and went for help because he was saying his life was so boring. But now it's perfect. The same situation he's in is so perfect. And when I look at it, that's not what happened to us with this pandemic here right now. How much of us are praying to go back to what we know as normal that was boring before we hit this pandemic and all this lockdown, right? How much of us are praying? I know I'm for one. I want to get rid of that mask that I got to wear that is fogging up my glasses every time I breathe, and I can't breathe properly in it when I'm, doing, moving around a lot. Just go to a simple restaurant, get dinner, just go to simple movies. Just go to a simple ball game and just enjoy. How much of us are praying to get back to that? And if we can get back to that, our life would be so much better, right? And the same thing, I guess, sure, before February or January, some of us were saying how our life was so boring and just getting monotonous. You go to work, you come home. Some of us can't even go to work. We have to work from home, right? So just even being able to go back to the office, to be around your friends, it's a big deal right now, right? Just like the man in the story. If we could only get back there, our life would be so much better, right? So that's what we're saying. Don't take your situation for granted. Don't take your situation for granted. Be content in every situation that you're in. Be content in that situation, because the moral of the story is things can get worse. Right? Things can get worse. So learn to appreciate every situation, every state you're in. Like Paul saying, you know what it is to have plenty, and you know what it is to have a little. You know what it is to have a lot. So when you have plenty, be content and give praises for the time you got plenty. What if you have a little? Be content in that situation you're in. Maybe it's just a season, and that too shall pass, right, guys? So I know I'm for one, would really love to get back to the normal I had 5-6 months ago. That was, you take for granted, right? So don't take no situation for granted. Don't take nothing for life in granted, and just be content in wherever you are. It too shall pass, right, guys? So thank you guys for listening. Just remember, guys, go and check out the YouTube channel. Please just hit the subscribe button as you go on there. We talk about a lot of great things over the last couple of months. Go on there, just hit the subscribe button, check out some material there, and see what bless you guys. So guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday. And just be content in whichever situation you are. I know it's frustrated right now for a lot of people. My business take a big hit right now too. I know what it is. I'm a small business owner. My business take a big hit with this pandemic, especially in Houston. We just got back to opening up stuff, and now we're back on lockdown again. Who watching the news? Houston, we're bad here. We're back on lockdown again. But I am learning to be content with what I have, because I know it can get worse. So guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday.